Good afternoon. You join me here on the shores of Swansea Channel. I was going to come out here for a bit of snorkeling. I've got my snorkeling gear in the car. I've been stuck at home today trying to get over this cough, and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I was going stir crazy. But sadly the water, if you can see that, it's very murky and green. It's quite warm, but yeah, the water just isn't. It's a waste of time trying to snorkel in that. The visibility would only be a foot or 2 foot at the best. So I'm not going to even worry about getting the snorkeling gear out. I don't think. I might have a swim. Over in the distance there, you can see the waves are breaking the channel. The swell is still pretty big. It's blowing southeast, so it's still on shore. So there's no way I'm going to get a surf in today, but I thought I'd use this opportunity to talk about the fourth thing I love about YouTube, and that is the lack of ageism. Now, is ageism, and what I mean by that is being discriminated against or treated differently just purely because of your age? Is it a real thing? And I'm going to give you an unequivocal yes. I've experienced it myself. And people tend to become invisible as they get older. I was at a shop only recently, and this has happened to me many times before, where I'm waiting in line to get served at the counter, and there was a lady in front of me who was in her 70s or 80s, a small lady, grey haired, and she was next in line, and the girl behind the counter finished serving the person and gave them their change, and then looked me directly in the eye and said, "Can I help you?" I was just taken aback. You know, even when you see it with your own eyes, you can't really believe it's happening. And I said, "Oh, I think this lady in front of me here is first, before me." And she looked and she shook her head and went, oh right, okay, and then served this lady. But if I hadn't said anything, you know, I don't know, I was just quite shocked. And by the look of on this lady's face, this was not an unusual recurrence for her. She seemed quite resigned to it. You only have to look at the actuarial tables for life insurance to see that you know, that's the case. You only have to look at when you go to get a loan for a house, for example. There's a cut-off age where they won't lend you any money because they think that you might die, or you won't repay it or whatever. There's so many things now where your age automatically counts against you. Another example would be female actresses and newsreaders. You know, how many of those survive past, say, 35 or 40? Once they reach a certain age, they tend to disappear. And the actresses only get character roles maybe 20 years later as someone's grandmother or whatever. You know, it's our society is very much youth-based, and that's just the way of the world. But on YouTube, it hasn't. I just have not experienced that. It's been the exact opposite. It doesn't seem to matter how old you are. And I've actually stated my age. You don't have to. Nobody cares whether you state your age or not. But I've stated my age purely for the reason that a lot of my content's surfing, fitness, losing weight, and you know, you need to put it into perspective for people, because you know your metabolism slows to such a rate as you get older that in order for people to put that sort of content in context, you really need to know your age. You know, otherwise I probably wouldn't have even mentioned it. You know, people are going to pick it from your voice, they're going to pick it from your actions, but it doesn't seem to matter on YouTube. You know, we don't get categorized into little boxes according to your age, whereas on Facebook, for example, you know, and I can give you a few examples. I follow quite a lot of surfing pages on Facebook, and the number of those that are, their name is even surfers over 40, surfers over 50, you know, surfers over 60. They're very much age related. If you go you know, if you go to if you drive past any of these retirement villages or any of these developments, and it'll have a big sign emblazoned out the front, you know, retirement living for the over 55s. They're trying to entice you to only surround yourself by people of your own age, you know, which I think is very dangerous and a little bit sad, because there's nothing like the company of young people and older people and people of all varying ages to keep your life vibrant and exciting. And you know, when you go surfing like I do, and I go to a lot of beaches where there's a lot of young kids, a lot of young guys surfing, and their vitality and excitement and just enthusiasm for life just rubs off on you, and it's magic, you know. It really does make a difference, you know. I can actually feel the difference in the vibe in the water between going out with guys my own age, which I love, you know. I'm not saying we shouldn't do that, but yeah, going out with younger people, listening to their chatter and their quick movements and the slashes and tears as they surf, you know. It's just a great experience, you know. And I think you really need to include that in your life, and that's where YouTube is so invaluable, because you can converse with, you can watch their content. It doesn't matter how old these people are, and I've had some fantastic comments on my channel, and some people have been older, and some people you wouldn't know how old they are. But when you jump on there, if they've got content of their own and you hear their voices, sometimes you can pick that they're very young, you know, or a bit older. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's probably my that's number 4. And things I love about YouTube is the fact that it doesn't matter how old you are. Nobody's going to hold it against you. Nobody's going to comment or even bring it up. Nobody cares how old you are. All they're interested in is what's right there in front of them. And I think that's a really positive thing. So that's going to wrap it up. I'm going to go for a swim, I think, rather than get the snorkeling gear out. And yeah, if you enjoyed this sort of content and you'd like to, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. There's one more in this series. I'm going to do number 5. I'm not quite sure what it's going to be on. I think I know what it's going to be, but as I've said before on my channel, you know, I make a video on what I'm feeling right at that moment, because every time I try and do something that's contrived or something that I've planned or scripted, it just comes out terrible. I can't put it up. It's just, I don't know what it is. I know a lot of people can do that, but I've got to be in the moment. So yeah, number 5 will be coming up. Hopefully I'll get a surf in tomorrow or the next day. We'll see. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to do something every day, and we'll catch you on the next one. Alright, I thought I'd just take you for a little swim. I'm just going to walk out. The water is lovely and warm, but like I said before, it's very, very murky. In fact, I can barely see my feet now. I'm only, actually it's not that warm. It's not freezing, but that sun's got a bit of bite to it. Usually it's just crystal clear here. It's usually turquoise, the water, but like I said, from all the runoff. Oh, it's pretty nice though. It's pretty shallow, but there's all seagrass underneath me. I can feel it. You have to be careful around the lake and around the channel of those deadly blue-ringed octopus that live in these weed beds, and I think they call them razorfish. They're sort of something like a clam that sticks up, and they can cut your feet to pieces. They're very dangerous, so you know, you're really better off wearing shoes. I haven't got any shoes on, but you got to live dangerously sometimes. So one blue octopus bite coming up, and a slash foot from a razorfish. I might be continuing this from a hospital bed. Nah, just kidding. It is nice once I'm in though, it's lovely. Lots of threatening clouds though. It's just, there's a little tiny patch of blue sky up there and it's becoming a rarity at the moment this summer.